I am Dr. Jessie John, Assistant Professor, Department of Anatomy, Jyoti Vidyapeeth, Women's University, Jaipur. Today we are discussing contents of the vertebral canal, and we will discuss the many things here. We can discuss the spinal meninges, epidural space, spinal cord. These are the contents of the vertebral canal. So we will discuss one by one. The vertebral canal is in an elongated cavity inside the vertebral column. The vertebral column consists of 33 segments lying one above the other. They are grouped according to the body regions as following: 7 cervical and 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar and 5 sacral, and 4 coccygeal vertebra. In general, each vertebra consists of two parts, that is, the ventral part and dorsal neural arch, which includes between them the vertebral foramen. Vertebral canal is a collective name given to the whole series of vertebral foramina lying one above the other when the vertebrae are held together in the vertebral column. In human body, both in vivo and vitro, the vertebral canal is smooth walled space bounded anteriorly by the vertebral bodies, invertebral disc, and the posterior longitudinal ligament, and posteriorly by the vertebral laminae and ligament flava. On each side, it is bounded by the pedicles of the vertebra with intervening large invertebral foramen. The vertebral canal is continuous above with the cranial cavity and below with the sacral canal. The latter is considered as a part of the vertebral canal. And what is the contents of the vertebral canal? The vertebral canal contains spinal cord and that is surrounded by the meninges. The bony wall of the canal is separated from the spinal meninges by the epidural space. The content of vertebral canal are epidural space, spinal meninges, and spinal cord with its nerve root. Spinal meninges, the spinal cord is surrounding by the three covering that is called meninges. Superficial to deep, these are spinal dura mater and spinal arachnoid mater and spinal pia mater. By potential space between the dura and arachnoid, that is termed as subdural space, and the large space between the arachnoid mater and pia mater is known as subarachnoid space. Spinal dura mater, it is the prolongation of the inner meningeal layer of the cranial dura mater and extends from foramen magnum to the lower border of the S2 vertebra. It is attached firmly to the foramen magnum and the tectorial membrane and the posterior longitudinal ligament on body of the axis vertebra. The spinal dura is pierced segmentally by dorsal and ventral roots of the spinal nerves and prolonged over these roots as sleeve-like projections which enter the intervertebral foramina and ends by fusing with the epineurium of the spinal nerves. The recurrent meningeal branches of the spinal nerves supply the spinal dura. Subdural space, it is a potential space between the spinal dura and the arachnoid mater containing a thin film of serous fluid which acts as a lubricant. As a result, the dura mater can freely move over the arachnoid. The subdural space is prolonged to a shorter distance around the roots of the spinal nerves. Spinal arachnoid mater is a thin transparent vascular membrane that loosely invests the spinal cord. Above it is continuous with the arachnoid mater surrounding the brain, and below it is extended up to the lower border of the second sacral vertebra. It is separated from pia mater by the subarachnoid space. The arachnoid mater sends many delicate thread-like process across the supraarachnoid space to the pia mater, forming a spider's web-like arrangement. Subarachnoid space, Subarachnoid space is relatively large space between arachnoid matter and the pia mater. It is filled with cerebrospinal fluid, which forms about half of the total volume. It communicates with the subarachnoid space around the brain at the foramen magnum. Below the level of the cons medulla is the space is quite roomy and contains only coda equina and phylum terminally in a pool of CSF. The lumbar puncture is usually done in this region between the L3 and L4 vertebra. Spinal pyometer is a vascular membrane that closely invests to the spinal cord. The pyometer is modified at the some places. These modification called processes of pyometer and processes of pyometer phylum terminally. It is a delicate thin thread-like prolongation of pyometer beyond the conus medullaris. It is about say 20 centimeter long and extends from tip of conus medullaris to the base of the coccyx. It passes the dural tube, passes through the sacral canal and sacral hiatus to gain attachment on the dorsum of the first piece of the coccyx. The phylum terminally is divided into two parts, that is phylum terminally internum and final terminally externum. Final terminally internum is about 15 centimeter long and lies within the dural sac, and phylum terminal externum is 5 centimeter long and lies outside the dura mater. Ligamenta denticulata on each side between the dorsal and ventral nerve root. The pyometer forms narrow ribbon-like transparent bands called ligamentum denticulata. The lateral margin of each ligamentum denticulata sends 21 teeth-like projection which pass through the subarachnoid space and arachnoid mater to gain attachment on the inner surface of the dural tube between the points of the emergence of two adjacent spinal nerves. Thus, ligamenta reticulata has to anchor the spinal cord in the middle of the subarachnoid space. The first tooth of the ligamentum denticulata is at the level of the foramen magnum, while the last tooth lies between T4 and L1 spinal nerves. Linea splendens, it is thickened band of the pyometer along the anterior median fissure of the spinal cord. Subarachnoid septum, it is a fenestrated spinal septum in the mid-sagittal plane which connects the pyometer with the arachnoid mater posteriorly. Posteriorly, the pyometer is also attached to the posterior median septum of the spinal cord. And this is a procedure that is called lumbar puncture. Lumbar puncture is done to draw CSF from subarachnoid space from diagnostic purpose. The needle is inserted between L3, L4 or L4 and L5 vertebra with patient's back flex either in sitting position or lying on a bed in left lateral position. Usually the latter when the patient is curled up lying on left side, the needle passes through the supraspinous and interspinous ligamentous and between ligamentum flava before piercing the dura mater. As the dura mater is passed, there is distinct feel of giveaway since the spinal cord ends at the lower border of the L1 vertebra. So there is no danger of damage to the spinal cord. Spinal anesthesia to give spinal anesthesia, the anesthetic solution is injected into the subarachnoid space. It mixes up the CSF surrounding the spinal nerve roots, which get anesthetized. The procedure is same as that of lumbar puncture. Epidural anesthesia. To give epidural anesthesia, the anesthetic solution is injected into the epidural space at the desired site without piercing the dura mater. The solution infiltrates through the meningeal sheaths around the nerve root, which consequently get anesthetized. And next we will discuss in another video. Thank you.